we've got all that, but here's one thing that's a serious issue, and we really got to think about it because it is Democratic policy. Illegal immigration is Democratic policy. It's been going on for 3.5, now 4 years. As mayor, you're going to have to deal with people that are going to come here and need resources. What is your stance on the illegal immigration, as dealing with sanctuary city or whatever you want to call us? How are you going to deal with that situation? Because as a taxpayer myself, I'm going to get upset at the fact that these people get priority and they haven't paid in the tax base or anything of that nature. So what's going to be your policy or your idea of how to deal with this conundrum? Because I'll be the first to tell you, the minute you start giving these people resources, you will not win re-election.
Well, the thing is, it's not me giving resources. First of all, it's a federal issue.
Yeah.
We don't enforce, I'm going to say this, we don't enforce the immigration policy, but we deal with the impacts of the failed immigration policy. Now, giving resources, I don't think any city, they may give it, but the thing is, we do not ask for people's papers. We don't ask. They have driver license, identification, social security cards, and everything else. So my thing, how to deal with it is the fact if there's an onslaught of that coming in through here, then we need to have to work with the state and county governments to give us the resources because that's not our job, but we have to house these folks. So my thing is that's going to be a part of a bigger, not only Moreno Valley, that's more a county and state issue that we're going to have to work together to do it. And I can't say we put people on the bus and say, get out of here. I mean, on paper, it's something that we have to deal with. But for me, as the mayor of the city, is to work with these organizations, these nonprofits that's out there, these churches, and work with the county and state to accommodate them. But to give them resources is going to have to be coming from these nonprofits or the state because Moreno Valley, we don't enforce the immigration. We deal with the impacts of a failed immigration policy.
Right, but a good example would be like Chicago and New York. The problem that they're having is the federal government isn't funneling that money in a timely manner, which is making the cities are going bankrupt because the federal government is playing games with the money that's supposed to be allotted, whatever. How would you as mayor deal with that? That's what I'm saying, and what a lot of other people are saying is, we know it's a federal issue, and they're going to make all these promises to you. Yeah. But at the end of the day, these people have to be housed and whatever. But are you going to, to deal with this? It's going to use resources that these people didn't put into. So you're in a conundrum in what you're going to need to do.
Well, again, that's what the county is there for. County has more resources than cities do. And when something like that happened, what was it? That there was influx of migration that came through. Where was it? Down by coming through Temecula. Was it?
Yeah, Temecula.
And they got together and the county got involved. The county. See, the cities don't work alone in a situation like that. The county got involved, and the majority of all the resources came from the county, not the city. Sure. Now, the county had resources where they could place people or give them resources because we're not a social service organization. That's what the county does.
Right.
And so they provide them, not the city doesn't provide them anything. That's who we work with.
Okay.
And the nonprofits, because a lot of how they handle it was nonprofits, and they handle with their the county resources, not the city.
Okay, so let me push back on that.
Okay,
you just explained a solution to a problem.
Yeah.
Why, if it's that simple, why is it that 1 million veterans are homeless and we have a homeless issue when it comes to American citizens here? Why aren't we doing the same thing in regards to American citizens?
Well, here you go again. It depends who's in charge.
Okay.
It's always going to come to that.
Okay.
Because it's going to come to, like we just said a few minutes ago. A guy came to me earlier, was at work at Lowe's, and he was talking about the idea about holding the wall, trying to help veterans. on Back Street, trying to get a shelter going on to help the veterans. He said they would have the land. I said that'd be a good idea to work, but I said you got to work with somebody who has the foresight to think about how we collaborate to address the problem. Like you said, there should be no veteran on the street. Like I was telling him, I would do whatever I could to help that person, a nonprofit, secure he has his own land to get a shelter so for those veterans. Okay. That's what I would do with wraparound services.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what we was talking about. So like you're right. But again, if you don't have people in position that have the foresight to see this kind of issues and how you could work together to address it, then you have the wrong person in there. If they're not thinking about it, then...
So basically what you're saying is homelessness can be fixed if you have the right leadership to lead. Obviously, the mayor that we have does not know or is woefully ignorant of what he can do.
And the city officials there need to know that you have, like I said before, we have resources right now in the city. We don't collaborate. We play whack-a-mole in addressing the homeless issue in Moreno Valley. See, the issue that you just said right now, if we had a strategy, we had these folks coming together, making more efficiency, we can address that issue. No homeless person, especially a vet, should be living on the street. No. And we got to find ways to get that individual back on his feet and housed and to get him back on the road to recovery so he can go out there and be a productive citizen. We owe that to all our vets.
Right. And since we're on the vet thing, there's talk of expanding the March homeless veterans campus on March and making another unit there at March, which I think is a great idea. But see, a lot of people don't know these resources exist on that base, and we have to do a better job of communicating that.
And I agree with you on that. Like again, that's the first time I've known it. But if it was out there to let people know this coming, because a lot of people don't know it's even one out there.
Right.
Because remember, I went out to the base and said, "Hey, this is where we can put a navigational center for our city."
Yeah, and we went out there. That was the old campus. Now they have the new one.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is nice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because we working together, we could work together with other entities, other governments, work with county, and you work with the state, you work with nonprofits. We can have a navigational center there at the base that could serve regionally people that's homeless here in Paris or Riverside.
Exactly.
We could do that.
Exactly. All right.